it broke. So I've got nothing to put this on a stand and do it horizontal. So we're vertical today. That's not bad for a dyslexic guy, knowing horizontal to vertical, left and right. I don't have the same brain as you guys. My brain is set completely different. It's never been calculating, no, left and right. I still have to put my left foot down to my right foot, and I'm 58 last week. People judge you by your brain because they live in the program system. So when they see a text or they see writing, they judge you by that, and they see that you're irrelevant or you're not worth listening to because they're in the program. I used to listen to people who couldn't read or write, and they were healers, they were shamans, they were very different people. And I learned to realize that breaking free from the program isn't easy for most people. And if you haven't written a book, then you're not deemed any worth. You know what I mean? Writing a book means nothing. Anybody can write a book. Doesn't make you an expert in anything. So I got quite a lot of kickback from, calling out bullshit last night. And I've got some pretty not very nice messages, inbox messages, saying that I'm filled with ego. Maybe I shouldn't have said anything. Maybe people should just follow the system program. Maybe they should watch all these huge podcasts and believe everything that they say, and that they're all genuine. Of course they are. They must be. They must be all genuine because they've been brought onto big podcasts. They must be. They must be the world leading experts. So how do you deal with programmed people? You can't. Justifying yourself is a waste of time, because once they've made their conscious brain, sorry, I shouldn't even mention conscious, because that isn't conscious, it's brain setting program. Once they've made their decision, that's it. Now they're on the defense, and whatever you say, they're looking for ways to dismiss, eradicate, and just walk away. Just like the vaccine, when you said, I'm sorry, I think it was dangerous. And even now that people are sick, fully sick, and you say, well, as I mentioned what it was, they're dismissive and they walk off and they get angry. You can't do anything about it. People aren't truly open. They're not listening. When I make a comment, I don't just make a comment for clicks and likes. I make a comment because something smells off. And just because I said that, I'm calling out quite a lot of people who go on the big podcasts who say that they're exorcists. I call out bullshit. So I remember going on a podcast with Jerry Mazinski. He was the first person I ever truly met that I believed what he said. And if you listen to Jerry Mazinski, there's no bullshit. There's just truth. And I'm listening to the guy, and it took me 2 minutes on the same podcast with him with Sheep Farm to know that this guy's genuine. I also have been on podcasts and invited people on who claim to be the world's experts on entities and attachments. And yeah, sure. Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So, yeah, I just had my breakfast. So, and yeah, I mean, here's the truth. I'm not going to bullshit to you, right? They spent an hour talking about being an expert on these things, and I'm like, okay, it's great talk, but something just doesn't feel right. Something feels off. And I can tell you this, about a year ago, and I gave up doing my healing because most of you know I had a silent heart attack here in Bali when I was doing a retreat, and it was a heavy thing. I write about it in my book. No bullshit. Can you imagine writing about, having a heart attack after being a healer? What you know what I mean? Why would you do that? I thought you were a healer. No, there's no ego in me, guys. I tell it you straight. And if something that I believed was once accurate isn't anymore, I'll tell you. My views have changed because of my experience. And I've told you this. Told you loads of stuff. So, a dear friend of mine was really in a bad place. His daughter was going through terrible things. And I'm not going to explain why. I'm just going to tell you that when I say that there was windows smashed in with hands and head, and things ripped and things that couldn't be explained, not crawling up walls, not levitating, but actual things, crazy things happening with a person. I quickly got onto an email, and the person that claimed to be an expert, I still thought, even though I knew there was something off, I thought, well, let's just see. So I gave my dearest friend the number, and after a couple of days, no response. Then the response was, well, I need to know more about it. We need to do a conversation first, because I only deal with people who are serious. Who are serious? What the fuck does that mean? Of course it's serious. You'd know it even if you spoke to my mate. You'd know the fear and what he was going through. What the fuck's that got to do? I smell bullshit here. And then at the end of it, nothing ever happened. So I jumped onto a plane. I flew to UK. I laid the girl down and I did a healing session for an hour and a half. Whatever was inside her had gone. She posted something on social media. She has over 1 million followers. She posted on social media, my dad's mate, my dad's best friend is a healer. I never realised that, after a healing session, you can feel so amazing, and whatever was up with me, it's gone. And thereafter, 6 months later, free from all of the stuff that had affected her for many years. I call bullshit out because there's too many people in this field of work that can so easily say what they fucking want and get away with it. But when confronted with a situation, they're off. I have met healers in the Costa del Sol who claim to be this and that, and when I've said to them, come with me and let's do this, where have they gone? Disappeared. Why are you not interested? Why are you looking a bit weird? Why are you a bit tense? Why, when I ask you questions about certain things, you're all of a sudden got your back up? Why is that? That's not normal. That's not a healer. Sorry, pal, but who are you? I'm a healer. How many healing sessions do you do a day? No. How many healing sessions do you do a week? No, how many healings? Right, one a week if you're lucky. One a month if you're lucky. Yeah, you're not a healer, pal. You're not a healer. Sorry, you're not a healer. You're just beginning your journey. You have no idea what you're talking about. And me saying this, oh, Mr. Bajerski's got a big ego. No, 12 years. 12 years. My clientele was huge. I travelled all over the world, clearing properties, helping people with the worst, darkest situations. Across from me is probably one of the worst places where people feel that they've been demonized by the hand of Fatima comes from Morocco, right? They believe, and they come to me with all of these dark energies and stuff like that, which a lot of it is bullshit, and I call it out. So when people say, who do you think you are, the leading authority? I don't think I've never said I'm the leading authority on anything, and this is like 10 or 15 messages this morning. Who do you think you are? I'm just calling bullshit out, that's all. Who do I think I am? I don't think I'm anybody. I'm Mark Bajerski. If you want to know who I am, it's easy to find. I have the Pure Energy Healing Academy. I've been going now 2 decades. I have probably over 7,000 beautiful practitioners who came to learn pure energy healing. They're all over the world. Some are practicing daily. Some don't even tell people, but they're practicing daily. Some don't even want to and don't even need to be on my website. Many of them don't need to be on my website. I was on nobody's website because I was fully booked. Because if you're good at what you do, you don't need to advertise. And I would say at least 800 pure energy healers who do other healing modalities as well as pure energy healing contact me through the year and tell me things. They talk to me about many things, ask me questions. Please, Mark, can you explain this? I've just been through this. This has just happened with a client. Every day I answer them back. Am I a leading expert? I don't know. But if I've got thousands of people asking me about situations when it comes to this entity, demonic forces, healing, dark energy, I think I'm pretty up to date with everything that's happening right now. And I think I'd probably know after 20 years and all of these hundreds of healers that contact me every day that there's women or men crawling up walls or levitating off the ground. So no, I'm not a leading expert. I never claimed to be. But I can tell you this now. I'll sit next to anybody who claims to be an expert, who goes on these podcasts, and I'll have a conversation with them. I'll tell you straight away how quickly I'll know how many healing sessions have you done on these so-called exorcisms. I used to do exorcisms all the time. They're not exorcisms. They're cleansing, clearing negative energy out of people's bodies. That's what they are. I don't need to hype the bullshit. I don't need to do Hollywood. Harmony, my partner, I never even thought about it till I met my partner 7 years ago. 7 years ago, she said, how many healing sessions have you done? I said, I don't know. You know why? Because I kept saying, no, I'm not an expert. She said, well, it depends what an expert is. And in her mind, she's working out what an expert is. And I'm saying, but what is an expert? What does that even mean? And she says, well, there's a book that came out and it said if you've done over 10,000 healing sessions, like a football player, then you're professional. And I say, you're professional. And I'm like, oh, I don't know. I don't know how many healing sessions I've done. She says, well, how long have you been doing the work? And I said, at that point, it was 12 years. And she says, how many healing sessions do you do? And I said, I don't know. Some days it's 5, some days it's 7. If I'm doing the shows, it's anywhere between 19 and 22 a day, short reads. And then if I'm flying all over the world, I can spend a whole week doing the work wherever it is, healing. If I'm in a psychologist's office, wherever it is in the world, I used to work alongside lots of psychologists that brought me to their practice in Barcelona, in Madrid, in Rome, beautiful Lynn, who brought me there, and I've wrote about some of these in my book. So I can't tell you. And she said, well, let's work it out. Let's just say you've done this amount. I said, oh yeah, definitely done that amount. God, yeah. And then she worked it out. She says, you've done well over 10,000 healing sessions. I went, oh, have I? I hadn't even thought about it. But then I thought, why can't you be proud of that, Mark? Why can't you, stand up and say, yeah, I think I am. I have actually done the work. You speak to these people who claim to be healers, who claim to be exorcists, then ask them, how many healing sessions have you done? How many times do you do it? You're lucky if they've done one a month, one every 2 or 3 months. So, am I a leading expert? I have no ego in this. I have no... There's nothing that I need to talk about this for any reason other than I want people to feel better and to not think that there is dark forces that have the power over you. There are answers, there are ways to clear it, there are ways to protect yourself. And talking about all of these things being supernatural and Hollywood exorcist films, it's bollocks. And those ego sat there in these podcasts thinking that they're the new Superman. I am powerful. I am God. Like, I call out bullshit. I call out bullshit. And if you think I'm filled with ego, then that's your problem. That's your issue. If you can't tell the difference between somebody who's honest and truthful and somebody's out there just trying to sell something themselves or their ego, then you're in the program. It's really that simple. You're in the program. There's nothing I can do about it. So I got to get that off my chest, because I'd rather them people disappear. I'd rather them people go, because having to justify my position because I speak my truth is ridiculous. You like it, you don't like it, bog off if you don't like it, and go and sit and listen to your gurus that talk about levitation and stuff. Yes, there's all sorts of bad stuff that happens. Of course there is. But I'm sorry, guys. There is no woman or no child crawling up the wall. There's no child on the ceiling crawling around. There's no mother or father or daughter that their neck spins and all the way around 360 degrees. There is no levitation up here. I'm holding them down and pushing them. They're levitating up and down. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I would have known about this by shamans, by everybody I've worked with, by all the people that are pure energy healing practitioners. They would have told me. I would have heard it from... I just call bullshit out. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. And that bullshit is dangerous. It's dangerous because it gives an added power, which is an illusion, which basically means that your power is being diluted. It's being diluted. It means that the devil, evil, has more power over you. Or more so, whoever sat in that seat with their big egos are saying, just like many psychics and readers, sorry guys, it just happens, these things, sorry guys, it just happens, these things just happen. I hope you're still here. If you're not, no problem. Ah, little butterfly. Green. Oh, it's on my face. It's on my hands. It was on my face. Go on then, what does that mean, a butterfly on your face? He's not going away as well. He's just on my face again. What does that mean? Yeah. So it's I told you many stories about these people who they get a God complex as soon as they become a healer. Anybody who knew me in 12 years of being a healer, they always said, Mark's humble. I am humble. I'm humble to this day. Do I know what I'm doing? I haven't got a clue what I'm doing until I start the work. And then sometimes it's more challenging than what you think, and you have to work in a more fluid, loving way, and things change. And so, you know, these experts that just, this is what you do. This is how I do it. And like, shut up. Shut up. I remember being with a so-called wizard. I was asked to go and meet a high priest wizard. And I said, I don't want to go and meet a high priest wizard. And this was Heidi. Heidi asked me to do it. And I didn't want to do it. Why do I want to meet a wizard for? I'm busy working. But because she was a friend and I was going to be in a book, which I never got in that book in the end, which was a blessing, but it was interesting. I had to meet this guy from England. So I'm sat with him. Didn't take long before he tells me that I work with the biggest and most powerful goblin in the world. Eh? Goblin? Oh yeah, goblin. He's got a big beard. Goblin. Okay, he works with goblins. Okay, fair enough. But the red flag because I'm open-minded. The red flag was, I hear you've got some trouble. And I'm like, well, it's not trouble. I want to just live a happy life. I don't want my old mentor to hate me anymore. I just wanted to be happy. I wanted to, live a happy life. I just want to get on with my work. She's attacking me every day. She's sent somebody to break my arms and legs. I mean, seriously, really, really bad things. And he said, oh, well, you can't deal with this. I'm like, I know. Okay, I can't deal with it. Okay, only I can deal with this. Only you can deal with it. Oh yeah, only I can deal with this. So from now on, you need to talk to me. You need to contact me every day, and we need to resolve this. I can fix this. I have the goblin that can fix this. Or whatever it was. It wasn't a goblin, it was some smurf or something. I have freaking no idea what it was. So, of course, it's bullshit. Of course it is. But I still have to have an open mind. And he gets his pendulum out. You got any questions? Well, the day before I lost my beautiful Moldavite, and I saved so much for that Moldavite. Must have saved 2 months for that Moldavite. And like all of you guys, well, many of you guys might know that Moldavites disappear. Like, no, seriously, they freaking disappear. That isn't climbing up walls. They just disappear. Like, where the friggin' hell did I put it? Like, I knew I put it at the bottom of my bed. Did I get up in the middle of the night? I asked my daughter, I asked my wife then, have you moved it? No. Like, are you sure? So, weird. For some reason, I just thought, my Moldavite's disappeared. Where is it? He says, you'll never find it again. He shakes his pendulum with his hand. He says, I find interesting. Why are you shaking it? Yeah, you'll never find it again. And for that little bit of piece of information, he asked me for some dinner. So I went to the toilet. When I came back, he'd ordered fresh fish, salad, bottle of wine, and everything. So I said, okay, I'll buy you a sandwich. I didn't have a lot of money then. I was a working healer, and most of my healing sessions, to be fair, were either free, and I charge very little, So yeah, it cost me a fortune. What a great lesson. And just so you know, the next day I found my Moldavite, and it was nowhere near where I left it. So forgive me if a healer is, you might say to yourself, but you're a healer and psychic. I mean, what are you talking about? You more than anybody should believe everything. Actually, it's the other way around. Yes, I do psychic work. I do healing work. But do I trust other people? No, I don't. Struggle with trusting. And I'm more on the defense and like, are you telling the truth? I don't just believe. I've got to know that what you're doing is real. Here in Bali, there's only a very few people who know how to heal. Very few. Very few. And the ones that don't claim to be healers are healers without even knowing. So there you go. That's my chat today with the phone here and me here and my red nose and yeah. I don't claim to be a leading expert. But what is a leading expert? Please clarify what a leading expert is. If I've done over 10,000 healing sessions over a full decade and 2 years, so 12 years solid, every day working, going into more properties, helping people with the most disturbing things, and things do happen. Mirrors break, cups move. Yes, all of these things. I'm not saying they don't. I'm just saying I'm calling bullshit out on certain people who are exaggerating, blowing it into Hollywood proportions. And you can see they're sat there not because they're wanting to help, but they want to share their amazing ego with everybody. Bollocks. No time for it. But yeah, just listen to Jerry Mazinski. That's somebody speaking the truth. That's somebody who's worked a lot of his life in a situation where if there was anybody crawling up walls, literally on the ceiling, and I haven't heard him, maybe he has, maybe I'm wrong, maybe he talks about the men in the institution crawling up ceilings. Maybe he's seen people levitate, I don't know, but I've never heard him say that. I've heard him say stuff that, wow, that's exactly what I went through. That's exactly what's happened to me. This guy speaking my truth. Might not be the guy on the podcast truth, because his truth might be completely different, and maybe he has seen people walk on ceilings and levitate off the floor. Maybe he has. Maybe I am wrong. Maybe there is a 1% chance I'm wrong. But what I'm calling out is something that doesn't, it smells, what you're talking about, vaccines, what everybody should have it. I smell bullshit, mate. Sorry. I got a bullshit meter here. It's a big nose. It's as big as any Jewish guy's nose. That's why the air's free. Because I've got a big nose. Because I can smell bullshit a mile off. And by the way, I don't know if I'm Jewish or not. My dad said I'm not. My dad said I'm Polish. Our roots go back Polish. Who gives a shit what I am? If you're a good person, you're a good person. If you want to see people dead, you're a bad person. And when I talk about people on podcasts, it sounds like I want somebody murdered. No, I'm just saying I'm calling bullshit out, that's all. Prove to me. Show me. Yeah, that's AI, mate. Yeah, that's Hollywood. So, yeah. I mean, if you watch Jerry Mazinski and me and Sheep Farm, we were all on a podcast together. I didn't even know who he was, just heard about him here and there. And he said nearly at the end, I'm jumping around with joy, right? Because I didn't know that many people who did my work. I kept myself to myself because most of them were lying, nasty, egoistic people. So I kept myself to myself. Very few healers that I ever met. So Jerry says, they don't like this from scripture. Like, okay, I don't know. I don't read scripture. They don't like holy water. Well, I know that because I've been through that. I've been through charged energy water, and they don't like it. They don't like this music. And I'm like, what music? And he said, it's Gregorian chants. And I'm like, yes. This guy is genuine. And yes, I'm not crazy. It does work. And if you go onto my website, you will see I made an absolutely beautiful combination of healing in the form of me sat down, channeling pure energy healing to clear and help spirit move on, embedded with Gregorian chant music, because that's what I used to play when I went into houses that had attachment, had demonic energy, and more often than not had spirit trapped in between two worlds. So that was great. That was really nice. I was like, you can see my joy, you can see my excitement. It's genuine. It's like, you know, I'm still a kid. I'm still like a child. I get excited. But yeah, if you want to watch somebody who's all serious, who knows everything, has got the answer for everything, and listen to me, I know what I'm doing, go for it. You go for it. But no, I'm not a leading expert on anything. I'm just sharing my experience over the years. But I am interested to know what is a leading expert. Because somebody said on a post, probably, what makes you a leading expert. And I didn't make that video to say I'm a leading expert. I'm just calling out bullshit. I've never called myself a leading expert of anything. So, yeah. And if that's what you think about me, what are you even doing on my channel? Get yourself off and go and follow somebody else. So, other than that, it's a beautiful day here in Bali. I am now about to go and see a beautiful man, and he's going to take me through the process of oud oil, O-U-D oil, or A-G-A-R wood oil. And it's within the tree of the Aga wood oil. I don't even know how to pronounce it, but oud tree. And he's going to explain to me the quality of trees, and which is the tree that, to my little knowledge, is all to do with mold. And of course, in Bali, there's a lot of mold because it's damp. So when this certain tree gets mold, it secretes a healing resin. And it is that resin that is in the bark that you extract, and you get this beautiful healing oil, which is used for perfumes in Saudi Arabia. It's used all over the world. There are different trees that, depending on what part of the world you are, depending on what you like in the smell isn't important to me. The extraction is the healing of mold. And I use it in my blend of a healer. I use 3 drops. Why? Because it costs literally thousands for a tiny bottle. So when I say I use 3 drops, not in each bottle, but in 100 bottles. So it's very, very strong and very expensive. So I can't use that many drops in one mixture, but it's in there. Once that property is in there, it's in there, and you will benefit from it. What little I know, I would say that India is probably the most expensive of the oils. And what is the difference? I think the difference would be the earthy, rich, spicy smell. It's beautiful. Bali, Indonesia, I would say it's more sweet. It smells more sweet. Yeah, and spicy too, I guess. Yeah, it's a lovely smell. Every oud oil I've smelled and worked with has been beautiful. So they say that depending on how old the tree is, and the mold that is within it is the reason why it can be, for a bottle like this, can be $14,000 for a bottle this size, 12 milliliters, or you can get bottles for hundreds. So, hundreds or thousands. So yeah, I'm not really bothered about I'm more interested in the healing property. So when I hold the bottle, and then when I rub a little bit and smell it, I do the same work as I do with crystals, with incense. I try and feel what I'm getting from it. So I'm gonna really enjoy this time. I think I'm gonna buy some wood as well and bring it back and burn that at home and just take my time and see where we go with it. Because I may just create, I'm not sure, but I may, depending on what I believe the smoke will be good for. So there you go. That's it. I'm sorry if I've sounded a little bit negative today. I just wanted to get it out there. People believe what they want to believe. There's nothing really I can do about that. I believe what I believe, and nobody can do anything about that neither. But for me to sit down and say nothing I could do that very easily. That is the Buddhist way. But I also believe that it's good to release. It's also good to share your truth and stand up for what you believe in. I couldn't give a shit what people think about me. But when somebody calls me out on something, it just feels right that I say, actually, no, I disagree with that. What's wrong with that? So in the spiritual sense, don't say anything, they say. Well, that to me is a spiritual hijack. You should be open, you should speak your truth. Whether it's right or wrong, you should always speak your truth. And I'm not saying whatever you feel you should speak your truth, but if you do, then so do I. And this is where the world's going now. Everybody wants you to shut up, listen to them, and they don't want to hear what you've got to say. So people will say stuff on my comment section, but they don't want to hear a reply because, well, you know why. Have a great day, guys. Love you all. Take care. Till tomorrow. Bye for now. Thanks for joining me.